So very good evening, everyone. So today, the 5th October, is it celebrated as World Teachers Day. I will not repeat those things which are already discussed in the group. It was very well said that it is in the honor of invaluable contribution of teachers worldwide. We are celebrating this uh, World Teachers Day. I wish everyone a very warm and happy World Teachers Day. On this special occasion of World Teachers Day, it's a truly an honor to gather here for the RCEAM Expert Lecture Series Part 9 in collaboration with esteemed global organizations and academic institutions, celebrated annually on the 5th October World Teachers Day honors. So this particular theme was on recasting teaching as a collaborative, professional, resonant deeply with the 2 day sessions on teachers as architect of transformative learning journey. So we are able to see there's a resonance for both. So both this highlights the power of teachers to inspire, innovate, and collaborate in shaping the future of education. This evening, uh, I hope our panelists will reflect upon the role of teachers in building sustainable societies. Then this discussion, I think, will align perfectly with the broader framework of UN, that is United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for improving quality education. Before we listen to the panelists, let me initiate the discussion. We all know that the 21st century is marked by technological advancement, global changes, and the need for inclusive development. In this scenario, the role of teacher has expanded beyond conventional classroom. So I feel teacher today as mentors, they are innovators,
Excuse me, is the
they are
much of the grad contact person available in this meeting right now?
Yes,
Yes.
Dr. Rishi, you may continue. Your mic is on mute.
Yes.
Rishi sir, your mic is on mute mode.
yeah. There's some disturbance in the background, so I just stop it. Yeah. So I'm saying that teachers today are mentors, innovators, counselors, and architects of transforming learning and knowledge learner. They are central to guiding students, not just academician, but in terms of values, creativity, and emotional well-being. So today, panelists would highlight how teachers are the real architect of transforming learning. So focus will be on how we can transform this learning, whether through human-centered learning or by use of AI or by promoting the spiritual and emotional growth. And thus, let us uh, invite our first panelist, Dr. Prachi. So she will be emphasizing on this mentor-mentee relationship and human values. And I will just give one introduction about it just in 1 or 2 lines. She is passionate about research, and she has over 15 years of teaching and extension services. And let us try to see that how she will relate this personal connection that will shape transformative education. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I would just like to thank each one of you to invite me here. It is an honor. And this is the second time I'm being a part of this panel discussion. However, I would just like to correct you, Dr. Rishi, that it was the last time's topic. And this time I'm talking about teachers as designers of AI integrated and human centered learning, because we are talking about transformative learning journey, uh, being the architect, teachers being the architects. So I am taking up this time. So I would like to start off with saying that we have started looking on artificial intelligence as it is the spotlight nowadays. And sometimes it is believed that the role of teachers is diminishing. And we might feel that jobs are at threat, teaching job is at a threat. But however, there could be certain things which where teacher cannot be replaced. This has been talked about, yes, last time also, and I'm not going to repeat any of such points here. But what I'm going to talk about is how a teacher's role as a designer of learning experience still exists, and it will always exist, because AI serves as a tool, and humanity, it remains the heart of the process. So humanity is there by the teachers only. So AI undoubtedly brings a tremendous promise. It can personalize learning by adjusting pace and difficulty for every student. And it can free teachers from repetitive tasks, offer deep insights through data and analytics. But let's remember that AI cannot smile, AI cannot inspire, AI cannot understand the silence of the students. It cannot read the emotion behind a hesitant answer or sense when a child needs encouragement. That is where teacher becomes truly irreplaceable. As designers of the AI integrated and human centered learning, teachers perform, according to me, I believe they perform three vital roles. The first being personalized beyond algorithms. I'll give you certain examples as well where AI is functioning. Say, AI can recommend lessons, but teachers bring context, creativity, and cultural relevance. Here, let's take an example of Khan Academy's Khamingu, where the AI tutor that adapts math problems for each learner. Yet, a real transformation happens when the teacher uses that data to guide the discussions and build confidence amongst the students and connect it with the real life lessons. The second role of teacher is teacher acts as an ethical guide. AI is powerful but not neutral. Algorithms can carry bias and misinformation. Teachers help students question the technology, reflect on digital footprints, and use information responsibly. Let's take an example here of the platform that India is offering, the platform Diksha, that is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. Use that this Diksha uses AI to curate learning resources, but it's the teacher who ensures that a relevant, accurate, and culturally appropriate information is put in. The third role of the teacher is teacher safeguards the human connection. They nurture empathy, creativity, and resilience. The quality no machine can actually replicate. Taking an example of a language app like Duolingo, which trains grammar, but only a teacher can nurture the joy of conversation and cultural understandings between the languages or between the countries. So a powerful example becomes when a teacher might be using some AI based reading tools in the classroom, but when there is a flag, some struggling readers can be flagged by the AI. The frustration of the student can be noticed by the teacher, and teacher can diagnose where the healing is required. How empathize viewpoint of the teacher can help in dealing with the problems the students are facing. So the real question will not be, will AI replace teachers? Rather, it should be, how can teachers harness AI to amplify the human potential? We as teachers become architects as blended experience. As Ushoshi ma'am also mentioned, that collaboration. So collaboration here is where a teacher collaborates with AI, and blended experience can be there where AI handles the data and practice, and teacher shapes the imagination, discussion, and discovery. There are many applications which are very easy, like Google Classroom, that is very like commonly being used. Canva, used for education. Then there are many interactive lessons can be created, like Nearpod, Ed Puzzle, Padlet, Miro. There are so many applications which can be utilized to curate certain lectures which will be very useful for the students. I'll just quickly go through few of the, I'm just sharing the screen once. I hope is my screen visible? Yeah. So here, this is a application known as QReport, where the slides can be designed, lectures can be designed on any of the examples. I have taken a cell, human cell, and activities are designed hereby along with the various lectures. The AI is helping you to discuss with students and make it more interactive. Another thing is, it's another one I'll just share very quickly. um, this one, so it might look like a very um, like small kids. This is a quick draw. Each one of you can, it is a very interactive tool. Quick draw, it's very free of cost, you don't need to log in. It is just creating imagination. Any one of us can use it, and it's really interesting. My small son is also using it at times, because we are just imagining how the things might look like. There are so many applications where teachers can actually utilize their expertise, and they can actually bring in the change in the classroom they want. This is the application, this is the Diksha platform of Ministry of Education by Government of India, where again there's this SWAYAM portal is there, and I'm sure many of you must be aware of it. But through this platform, I'm just trying to share how a teacher can be the designer of so many new pedagogy, where we are discussing with the students, when we are becoming more connected with the students using the AI. So I'll just sum up by saying that in a classroom of tomorrow, AI will be the instrument, but teachers will remain the composers, crafting learning that is not only intelligent, but it is also deeply human. And because while technology can personalize education, only teachers will be able to humanize it. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. Am I Dr.
Thank
Rishi?
you. Thank you, Prachi. Dr. Rishi, maybe invite the next speaker, please.
I
Yeah,
hope I
yeah.
was in track with the theme of the panel discussion today. So yeah, thank you.
Agreed with you, ma'am. So at the end, we will discuss a few questions related to this. Now I'm inviting the second uh, panelist, Professor Garima Sharma. She is multi-faced leader, researcher who brings science and education and social responsibility. With her work ranging from education innovation to community upliftment, she will share thoughts on personal development, focusing on spiritual and emotional growth of students. I think this is what is the need in terms of how we can transform education and learning. Over to you, madam.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm audible, sir.
Yeah, yeah, you are audible.
So, good evening, everyone. Happy Teachers Day. So, my topic is personal development, focusing on spiritual and emotional growth of students. We can, sir, some disturbances there, I think. Okay. We can imagine a student who excels in exams, knows everything, and score top marks, but feels restless, anxiety, and disconnected from inside. So this is the reality of many in young minds in India. So academic success alone is not bring true happiness, peace, and purpose. So we need spiritual and emotional growth of students also. So this is responsibility of our teachers in the journey of personal development, especially in spiritual and emotional growth, is essential for students. It is a journey of understanding who we truly are managing our emotions wisely, and connecting with our inner self. In our ancient India, our teachers, philosophers, saints, they taught us from centuries that education is not just a knowledge, it is about wisdom and self-realization. As Swami Vivekananda said, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in the man. So how can students balance body, mind, and soul, and how we can focus on the personal development of the students? In our Indian philosophy, this is called Atma Vikas, or the growth of the self. According to Taittiriya Upanishad, humans having 5 layers or 5 koshas, Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanamaya Kosh, and Anandamaya Kosh. That is physical body, energy body, mental body, intellectual body, and spiritual body. So we have to nurture all the koshas and give everything to all koshas to full development and true personality development of the students. So teachers can teach students about self-awareness, self-control, empathy, and gratitude. Spiritual growth is the clarity of purpose, development, and self-reflection also. It's understanding the same consciousness that we are having inside us. Students can practice meditation and mindfulness. In a recent study in Harvard University showed that meditation and mindfulness improves memory, concentration, and emotional balance in students. So students can practice pranayama for emotional stability, meditation for mental clarity, and seva bhav for compassion in the society. And satsang and bhajan, they can recite mantras, bhajan for spiritual connection. As we can see, emotional and spiritual growth both are complementary to each other. A calm student who meditates daily 5 to 10 minutes will respond thoughtfully and not angrily when we criticize the student. In Gita also, Bhagavan Krishna, Lord Krishna mentioned in chapter 6, sloka 5, Gita, Krishna mentioned about emotion and thoughts. So emotional intelligence is very important. So Krishna mentioned that your thoughts, your emotions and actions can either lift you up or pull you down. So it's depend on us how we can use our emotion to going up or going down. So emotions are our best friend and our worst enemy also. When a student feels jealous or angry, it affects in its focus and concentration. So this is the responsibility of a teacher to channelize the emotions and spiritual growth of a student. And through different practices, already I mentioned pranayama, breathing exercise, meditation, and mindfulness. In Gita also, Krishna described the one sthiti pragya avastha. So this is the sthiti pragya avastha, means free from anger, desire, and steady in mind, and unmoved in sorrow and unmoved in happiness. So this is called sthiti pragya avastha. So this is the responsibility of teachers to develop sthiti pragya avastha in students, and to set students that they should behave in every situation in calm and cool and control the emotions. So we can teach students how we can control our emotions, how we can uh, growth from inside or spiritual development. So if student can practice 5 to 10 minutes daily meditation or mindfulness, it affects on their brain, and the anger will goes down slowly and slowly, and it impact their focus and concentration. So nowadays personality development is not just knowledge. It is about it is a conscious journey of self improvement, self realization, and it's involve understanding one's mind, emotions, how we can regulate our emotions, cultivating moral values, and connecting with our higher self. So, true personality development is not external achievement, it is the internal achievement and mastery over mind, emotions, and consciousness, and foundation of meaningful and joyful life. So, student can practice different spiritual practice. Emotional growth give us strength of heart, but spiritual growth give us clarity of soul. And together we can create a complete human being, and should
Ma'am,
be
just take
calm,
2 minutes,
confident. Yes,
two to
sir.
three minutes. Please try to just take 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm
Okay,
going
okay.
to finish.
You can
And
take 2 to 3 minutes,
together,
fine. Yeah.
okay, sir. Together we can create a complete human being with full of responsibility, calm and confident and compassionate. So this is the advice for a student. Focus on effort, not result. Stay calm in every situation. This is the success of life. In every situation, whatever you feel you have success or failure in your life, and you have up and down in your life. So be calm and cool in every situation. And in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual growth, you can ask yourself so many questions, that who am I and what is my purpose and how can I serve others? Because serving others or seva bhav to others is an important spiritual practices to generate, and is need to generate in our students through teachers. So thank you very much. Now I concluded my discussion. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite the next panelist, Dr. Manisha Sankul, ma'am. She is an eminent academician with over 35 years of teaching and administrative experience, author of around 15 books, and the editor of the Indian Journal of Home Science. She will enrich us on the mother, the first teacher as a foundation stone for transforming learning. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Um, Being home scientist, I have selected this topic, mother, the first teacher, as the foundation stone of transforming learning. So I really thank Professor Hemlata Talesra for conducting this kind of discussion, presentation, and uh, this webinar. I would like to share my PowerPoint presentation, which is a very short one. Let me try if it can be done. Uh, can Seema?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, there are three dots there on your screen at the lower side.
Yes.
From there, if you click share the entire screen, your PPTs might be visible there on your mobile.
I'm using my laptop, and there it shows the share the screen nishan. So should I click on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Do that, ma'am.
And how do I select? Please select the tab to share. Okay. Let me try. Because I think
But there are certain options like share the whole screen. So in case if you
Yes,
share the whole
ma'am.
screen,
Yes,
the
ma'am. It's
presentation
visible
is visible.
now. Yes, ma'am. It's visible now. Your PPTs are.
PPT is visible.
You are presenting. It's coming there. So you bring the PPT. Now you may minimize this. Minimize this.
Okay.
And go to the PPTs. Minimize this at the right side. From the top right side, there's a sign there.
I'm trying to minimize, but it's not getting it. Um, anyway.
Yeah, ma'am, this minimize.
Okay.
Now your PPTs are visible, ma'am. You may continue.
Okay, fine. So my PPT is visible. Uh, Let me begin by saying we all know that mother. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, kindly continue.
Okay. So mother is the first person or first teacher, as we all know. But still, we fail to recognize her role as a teacher. So I thought that let me talk about it. Even before the child can speak or understand the mother's words, the non-verbal communication teaches many, many things. She has a great role to play in shaping the child's life. Her tender touch teaches the child to touch each one with the same tenderness. As the child grows, mother must teach several things to the child so that he or she can lead the good life. So she can teach several things even before the child can start nursery or even play school. The habit formation. Teachers in the formal education setup have great role to play, and they do play. The curriculum is also there. I'm witnessing my granddaughter going through the nursery, pre-nursery, play school, and the kind of experiences that they are giving, it's wonderful, and they that gives them a very great opportunity to shape their life. But the role of mother cannot be overlooked. So before even before they go to the play school, or maybe 1.5 or 2 years or 2.5 years, as the system may be, the mother has to teach personal sanitation and hygiene. This goes without saying, but simple things like, as brushing teeth before bedtime, also, like, tries brushing the teeth and seeing to it that they brush the teeth at that time as well. Bathing regularly with regular head wash, applying oil, using clean comb. These are very small things, but yes, they need to be, the habits need to be inculcated right from early childhood. So, and wearing and keeping well clean clothes. So how they should be keeping their clothes also, that should be, or that needs to be taught at that early age. The fundamental things, these are the things which need attention. The mother teaches the values such as value of education, and similar values are taught by the mother at home. Of course, in the school, various other values are also taught. Then respect of religion and follow certain customs. This is very important because, in our country, we follow several customs. So we irrespective of religion, we follow several customs. So if the things are followed at home, the child will learn those traditions, customs right from the, even if the person does not speak, the child does not speak, but it is percolated to them. Respect for elders. When mother herself follows this respect for elders, then that the child sees and inculcates in them. Gender equality, she should practice this in home. This is very important because in our Indian conditions, gender disequality, or it's not equal when the resource allocation for the boys and girls comes up for education, for healthcare, for food and eating habits, then the equality is not at all followed. So mother has to follow this equality, and then only the child can learn about it. Household skills need to be taught to boys as well. So it's not that the kitchen should be kitchen is a prohibited area for boys. No, that kind of concept should be not be followed, but they should be asked. The boys also should be asked to fill up small things, fill up water bottles or wherever they can help. And then later on, when they are grown up, they should be taught to cook the food. I had heard one saying that, are we killing our boys by not teaching them the culinary skills? So because when they go out for study or for work, then they find it very difficult to cook by themselves, and learning at that time becomes all the more difficult. So why not teach them right from the early childhood how to prepare their at least basic food? So they should be involved in household chores also. Manners and etiquettes, like the eating, greeting, socializing, and many other such manners, mothers can teach first, and then the school comes, no doubt about it. Interpersonal communication within the family, with friends, with society, and so on. The foundations are laid in the house itself, and if the mother follows the same things, the child will also follow that. And if the child does not follow, then the mother needs to teach them what is good and what is not proper. Good food habits, this is very important, because in our condition, annaprashan system is done, and at that time the children are oriented to the food for the first time. So what should be taught, what should be given to them, and after that, when the child develops the teeth, what should be given to them, so that the child learns to eat everything. Child does not become fussy about bhaji nahi khaunga, and I will not eat bhaji or this or that. So unless the mother teaches at that time, the child would not learn the things. This is very important for their future life. The physical exercise, the emphasis on physical exercise also should be laid down by the mother, motivating the child to go for play in the outside bagicha or anything, and following certain exercises at home also should be motivated by the mothers. Psychological development is very, very important, and where it plays a great role. Mother plays a great role for that. She must teach the tolerance, patience, non-violence, not throwing temper tantrums beyond certain limits. Child would throw temper tantrums, but not beyond certain limits. Sharing, cooperation, helping others, sympathy, empathy, and such other important mental traits also mother teaches. Spiritual development can also be initiated at this stage by yoga. Of course, in the school, as the previous speaker said, that in school this should be practiced, but it should begin from the home. The mother can teach, or mother should teach, how a child can become a responsible citizen. Teach nationalism, civic sense, environmental concern even before the child goes to the school. By following simple practices such as rising during the national anthem when you are watching something on TV on 26th January. So watch parade, will motivate them also to see the parade, so that they get an idea as to what is nationalism and what is the country at that time. Asking the child to throw wrappers or chocolate in the dustbin only, very simple things. But yes, they have to be taught from early childhood. Controlled use of mobile. Now, this point requires a special attention. Generation Alpha, that is those born between 2010 and 2024, and then Generation Beta, Gen Beta, born between 2025 and 239. These people are and would be deeply integrated with AI and automation. As previous speaker said, that AI plays a great role in the teaching, but yes, they face, those who use this, there are certain negative points as well that also should be kept in mind. They face short attention span, over dependence on technology, lack of interest in learning. AI leads to lack of own imagination and thinking as far as many people, many students go. And here the role of mother is all the more important. They can guide the child to the correct use of AI. Mother can control the use of mobile and its application. And this is very important from early childhood. The use of television, screen time needs to be controlled by mother. Working mothers can restrict or control the screen time and have a system on their mobile to view child's activity. Here, I would like to say that working mothers use this television as a device to keep the child engaged, or maybe due to their guilt of not allowing able much time to the children, they allow them to use the television time. So this should be restricted and kept under control. And I would like to say that uh, working mothers, if they are keeping some hired help, then hired help also, to keep them relaxed, or allowing themselves to do certain time, they just switch on the TV and the child keeps on watching the TV, so that they are able to do the certain things. So that should be controlled to a great extent right from the early childhood. I have come across certain, uh, what should I say, the messages that now the children want that mother, we want your company. We want storybooks, not the televisions. We want to talk to you and Papa. So kindly give time to us. So we need to consider this and give them the time, talk to them, and be with them. We have several things, but yes, we should be giving them time. I have seen many houses that they sit in the drawing room, they watch TV, everyone is busy on mobile, TV is on, a movie is on, but everyone is on the mobile. There is no interpersonal communication. That is not the family time in real sense. So eating together as we used to do early, that is a practice. We need to redo those things, that having lunch is not possible, but at least dinner together with a small prayer or anything. But we should make it a point to eat together. So this is the role of mother in upbringing the child and transforming. And she is the foundation stone for transforming the learning. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts.
Thank you, ma'am. So
Let me see how can
very,
I.
very, yeah. You can just stop sharing the screen. Very
Edit.
genuine. You identify what is required in present context. This is what we all are missing, I think. We talk a lot about it, but when it's come to practice, I think we miss that thought of line. So this is the need that we need to practice all those things really, instead of just telling our children or practicing saying something. We need to practice, and uh, as a role model, we can say that yes, you can follow it. So without practice by our side, if we just trying to preach them, it will not work. This is what I have learned. So thank you very much, ma'am. Later on, we will again have a discussion on this.
Sure.
Now I move on to the next one. Dr. Sahaloni Chakravarti, an accomplished scholar and researcher with international recognition and 17 years of teaching experience. And today, our topic is relevance for four pillars of education, analyzing the role of teachers. And I think this is where we need to understand. Again, I think she will talk about the four pillars of education, and the emphasis will be more on vision for holistic education. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Respected, esteemed academicians, respected Professor Talesra and Ushoshi Madam, for having me here. I had been a part of this group for long, but this time I got an opportunity to present my views in this panel discussion. I'm grateful to every one of you. Today, in this panel discussion on teachers as architects of transformative learning journey, I will be speaking on the relevance of 4 pillars of education, analyzing the role of teachers. So the 4 pillars of education, as it was propagated by UNESCO, and that's a that was proposed by Jean Deleuze, as we know. It is not something new. It has been proposed long back in the mid 1990s. So it was all about some new concepts, like at that period of time, UNESCO has tried to figure out what could be, from the philosophical point of view, what could be the different pillars of education on which the students should stand upon for having, as Professor Raj has rightly pointed out, how we could move forward towards the holistic education. So charting out that, the Deleuze Commission has proposed 4 pillars: learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, and learning to be, as the 4 fundamental types of learning. And each deserves equal attention. So the focus of today's discussion will be, how do we design meaningful learning experiences that develop the skills and competences most needed in the present times, and of course for the futures that we want to create. The Deleuze Commission's proposal for 4 pillars of education was proposed in mid-1990s, but standing in this 2025, it has it will be my focus of discussion whether it is equally relevant or it deserves some more analysis, and that has some inherent role to play in analyzing the role of teachers, or whether teachers need to rethink how they could figure out their duties, standing on the footing of these 4 pillars of education. In between, we already had the COVID pandemic. There were uncertainty, fragility, precarity, and that was a certain abruption in the education sector globally. So it is also clear that we still have much work to do to avert this ecological catastrophe, but COVID has somehow reinforced the conviction of many that mutual support, the cooperative sharing of resources, and collective action provide the right moral that could coordinate and give good reason for hope in the education sector, in the global education sector. So we all know the different 4 pillars, but still, just to make a foundation for my discussion, a little focus on these 4 pillars, and my focus will be on what could be the teacher's role on these 4 pillars. So learning to know is all about the foundation for knowledge acquisition. And as we are, the time for discussion is very short, I feel I should speak more on the strategies for implementations. So to stand on the foundations of learning to know, teachers should adopt certain strategies of integrating the curriculum, the same thing we could get in NEP 2020 in the form of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approaches to education. So integrating curriculum could help the students to have more knowledge, rather knowledge exchange with the other streams, and that could even make a good source for peer learning for them. Critical thinking exercises for the students even could boost up their knowledge. Problem-solving tasks and analytical discussions that could cultivate critical learning skills, helping the students to learn how to approach the complex problems. And finally, the lifelong learning attitude, which is very much entrained, the lifelong learning. And all our e-learning platforms, they talk about this lifelong learning, which is more about the informal or non-formal education, both comes here, rather than the main idea is that knowledge sharing or formal education is cannot be continued for the whole of the life to have a good job prospect, or rather to have a good knowledge footing. So continuous development of knowledge is equally important, and that kind of lifelong learning attitude should be developed by the teachers to justify this foundation, learning to know. Second one is learning to do. So this is more about what we say the activity-based learning. In a world that demands practical skills, this learning to do emphasizes the importance of translating knowledge into actions. So it focuses on skill development, including technical and vocational skills, fostering employability and adaptability. And all these collaborative projects and interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, even the research works, they come under this umbrella term learning to do, as proposed by UNESCO. The experiential learning, the skill-based learning, and emphasis on soft skills, the thing which is again in trend in the education sector nowadays, the different kind of skills that need to be developed from the early school stages, the skills, or rather different kind of behavior modifications and different kind of programs are also undertaken by different schools, even in the higher education sector also. In NSS, we could find different kinds of programs being undertaken to develop the soft skills, like teamwork, adaptability, the communication skills, skill of developing English. I beg your pardon to point out English as the global language, as because India is adopting very much used to English only, not any other global language which is even equally justified. But still, English we consider as a global language from the Indian point of view. So this kind of communication skills are very much vital nowadays for the global job market. Then comes learning to live together, and this proposes peace, tolerance, and cooperation. And this development of tolerance, cooperation, interconnectivity, all this come under, again, the soft skills part. So learning to live together is the kind of development that should start from the school itself. Also, the home will be playing a good part in it. And finally, the teachers, they will be teaching certain skills through activities, might be through excursions, tours, might be certain extracurricular activities, might be different sports or any other kind of works, so that they could develop the developments. They could rather learn how to live together, because in the future days, what I feel, this is going to be the greatest challenge in the future world, that this student fraternity, those who are now in schools, those who are now in colleges, they all are very much aware about their career, very much aware about their future, but they are missing something. Missing in the sense, they are missing how to be a part of a family, how they have friends, they are very much in or they believe in living together. And gradually this concept of marriage as an institution is fading away. That we
Ma'am,
could
you
get.
have one more minute. Within
Sure,
1 minute, try to consolidate.
Sure, sir. So this learning to live together should start from the school itself. And the fourth one is learning to be. Learning to be stands for the personal growth and self-discovery, and that should be that could be cultivated from the school itself by the teachers, in the colleges, by cultivating the self-awareness, resilience, and different moral integrity among each other. It should also take into consideration the spiritual part, spirituality in education, meditation, yoga, and so on. And finally, I would like to conclude by pointing out that even one more pillar has been added in these 4 pillars. by UNESCO itself. It's called the Learning to Transform Oneself and Society, where individuals and the groups gain knowledge, develop skills, and acquire new values as a result of learning. So they get equipped themselves with tools and mindsets for creating a lasting change in the organizations, communities, and societies. Being a part of the society, they have all the duties and responsibilities to be a part of the society, stay there, collaborate with each other, and be accountable for positive transformation in the society. So all these fall together. If we consider all these ideas, they fall together in the social constructivist approach of learning as propagated by Vygotsky. And if we could hope, we could be hopeful enough that all this reimagining and reanalyzing of 5 pillars, including the last one, taken together could reshape the world, give good values to the students, the Gen Z students, and a good cultivation of all these 4 pillars. A good society could be formed, and a good transformation is possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you all the panelists to share very good ideas, very good vision how to transform this learning. I have few questions. So let me put one question. For example, suppose we are talking so much about this transformating environment, creating that environment so that we all learn and be together. Now in the process, I'm just asking to the ma'am, so Nali ma'am, you talk about the fifth pillar where you talk about this learning to transform individual and society. I think this is what we already doing, but the thing is we have missed somewhere. For example, right now, when we tell our children to sit for some time quietly, they are not able to sit. When we say something to do very productive work, they go to this chat GPT and do something. So I think there is a connection which is lost. It is not, we are not able to tell them, but there is something which is missing. I think if we are able to identifying those missing part, then easily this individual will transform. Otherwise, what is happening? They know everything. You say something to them, they will identify, say, okay, this is what we are able to do. But in actually, the thing is, in their core, they are missing. Something is missing. If we are identifying those core component and just practice those component, I think we can develop this transformation in individual. So if you add something to it, because as you said that you identified the relevance of this, you might have gone through some more examples. Please give very concrete how this core can be taken care.
Sure, sir. So you are actually asking me to emphasize or rather exemplify more on the fifth pillar, sir.
Yeah, fifth pillar.
Yeah.
How the individual can be transformed. This one, just this particular.
Of course, sir. Yes. So individual transformation starts itself from the school. So from learning itself. Actually, transformation I could say that it's a kind of longitudinal study. So it cannot be done in a short while or within a very short period of time or within 1 year or 2 years. So after when we find a child going to school and when he has passed his board exams after say 10th or the 12th, then only we could find that yes, some transformation has happened. Whether it is negative or positive, that's another point of discussion. But transformation is something that takes a huge time, a long time. So transforming society is again, what should I say, is a Herculean job for the teachers. And society is, teachers are not only the part of the society, or rather teachers are not only the single part of the society, rather there are so many kinds of teachers from where the students used to learn. Say for instance, the students learn from home, The students learn from the community, the students learn from their peer group, even the students learn from the playground where they go. Even the students learn from different activities. They learn from different inter-school quizzes, different inter-school debates, so on and so forth. So there are many sectors from where the students used to learn. And by student, quote unquote student, I mean not only the school going students, rather the pupils who are still in colleges or in higher education, because they might be grown up, or they might have crossed 18, but they are still students, and they have some tender minds, as I find in my MA classes, and they are still in the learning process. So transformation could happen only after, means we could expect transformation from a student only after they have passed MA. Means rather I would, from the psychological term, I rather term it as maturity. Means a mature student is a student who at least has passed the age of 21 or 22, not less than that in the present society. So only then we could expect from a learner or a student a little bit of transformation. Means only some transformation could happen in their personality, and they could think of transforming the society. So as I find in many of my students, like sometimes they speak of but nowadays we find only a few this kind of students. In our times there were many who used to dream of transforming the society, taking the membership of different political parties, and having a big dreaming eyes. So nowadays that has awfully, that has shortened, I should say. Means students dream less nowadays, as you were pointing out that they are much more engrossed in the medias and all this kind of thing. Anyway, they think of transforming the society only after the age of 21 or 22. And that is even a long process. So what I feel, to justify the fifth pillar of education, the learning should start from the very beginning, from the school stages. The four other pillars, the first four pillars should be maintained, and that should be justified nicely by the teachers in schools, by the parents, and
Fine.
then only we could find its output in the form of the fifth pillar. And of course, nowadays the most challenging part is how we could means I should not say that we
Fine, ma'am.
we should make our students get rid of the social media, because that is in different ways that is also useful, but teach them. Means if I have that ability, or rather means if ever I get a chance that I want to add the sixth pillar, like to teach them how to use the social media, or use internet in the right way, and how to develop the values of living together. Means in spite of having a phone in my hand or using laptop, it's pretty much important to maintain good relationships with the family members, with the friends, and even with the lifelong partners.
Fine, ma'am. So this transformation, I think, will take long time in the individual, but I feel if all the stakeholders come together, and if we provide right kind of training to all the stakeholders, I think this is where we can take the lead as a teacher. We can identify parents, we can identify students, we can identify those who are associated with the schools, and then we train them for this transforming an individual. Thank you
Right.
very much, ma'am. Now I come to Manisha, ma'am. Manisha, ma'am, you talk about this mother, the first teacher. Now I feel in the school, in the primary section, we are able to take care of children, and teachers usually uh, try to behave like a mother. But when they come to secondary or after seventh onward, there is a big difference. Now, what is happening? When there's a drastic change in the child, he is not able to accept the teacher because there's a change. Similarly, I'm just suggesting Can in the school system, you can also add to it, can we invite a mother to the school and she can teach some subject to the child? Training can be provided to the mother. For example, content is there, but that affection, that emotion is missing. Without emotion, I feel the cognitive will not help. So in school system where we are trying to develop a good rapport, if we are able to balance between this cognition and emotion, I think this will be the key.
That's
And
a
this
great, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I really appreciate your idea that inviting the mothers who can come and contribute from their point of view or their whatever capabilities they have. That is a great idea. But unfortunately, now we in our system, education system is such that we are just curriculum finishing, target oriented teaching is being done. So very, very focused teaching is being done. So we are actually, I'm seeing my grandson, he is in ninth now. The kind of teaching that they are doing, he is going for tuitions. Experiential learning is rather missing from the curriculum. So only very focused, result oriented teaching is being done. This kind of your observation is absolutely correct, that emotional or this affective domain is really missing. That would be great idea. There are so many educated mothers, and then what should I say, like I'm from the field of home science, and we have so many things to share and give. We can, if the school invites,
thank you,
we
thank
can
you, ma'am.
really contribute to a lot of things.
Yeah. Now coming to Professor Garima ma'am, you talk about this personal development focusing on spiritual and emotional growth of the students. I agreed in terms of this emotional growth of the students. But when it coming to the spiritual, I think students are not very, they are not very positively accepting the spiritual nature of education. They feel spiritual is something different. Spiritual is something when we preach something and they try to follow some particular ascent or so on. So I feel this is very important because in terms of holistic development, this is one of the major area which is lacking. So if you have some very good ideas, if you have seen somewhere how the spiritual development can be taken care in the curriculum.
Sir, first of all, you, your suggestion that about these students that they won't understand spiritual practices or spiritual things clearly, but in our schools, spiritual practices is missing. Some schools are practicing spiritual things, but some are not. So, from this spiritual practices, we can start from home, as Manisha ma'am told, uh, already told. We can start from home and as well as in school, 5 to 10 minute practice, spiritual practice, and meditation or mindfulness practice, so that the student can adapt these practices slowly and slowly, because it's very difficult to adapt the spiritual practices in life. So 5 to 10 minutes, or we can start from 1 minute or 2 minutes. And in schools also, that spiritual practices, spiritual learning should add in curriculum. In morning time or in off time, 5 to 10 minutes just it's need.
So I think because the spiritual is more related to religion, this is where the problem is. We are not able to
Yes,
identify
sir. Yes, sir.
common platform where we can practice.
Yes, means spiritual practice is not related to religion, sir.
Yeah.
Means we can go for mindfulness practice or breathing practice or other things, but it is not a religious thing. So this is a myth in our society or in our mind, that spirituality or spiritual practice is related to religion. But we have to clear this myth from the schools and from parents and teachers, because when we will talk about the spirituality, just so religion come in our mind, religious practices. So it's different.
That means we can instead of using the spiritual word, can we use this mindfulness and meditation and
Yes,
similar
sir.
kind
We
of
can
word?
use other words. We can use other words, sir.
so that it is mostly acceptable by others.
Yes, yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And now I'm coming to Dr. Parachi, ma'am. You talk about this mentor-mentee relationship and human values. Uh, in our Indian context, I feel this particular mentor-mentee relationship, if I talk about Vedic period, we are practicing. But in present context, we are lacking so many things. Uh, Now, from your side, you might have seen or you already have practiced those things. Can you identify and say few examples where we can see, okay, if these rules play a harmony role, what are the different benefits?
Okay,
So
thank
you
you
can
for your
start with
question,
any.
Dr. Yeah, Dr. Rishi, thank you so much. I would again like to mention that this was last time that I was talking about mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah,
However, and this time we have talked about the AI integrated learning and how teachers are the designers of AI integrated learning. So, if I combine the two things and if I say that the mentor, last time as we have discussed about this in a good detail, you have also given your insights that mentor-mentee relationship is something which cannot be taken over by anything else. As because I am working in a higher education mode, I have no idea about the school education, no experience rather. So, in higher education, when a student is very much independent, the student feels that he or she can now make his or her own decisions, and is also, a lot of peer pressure and things have modified, changed a lot. Sometimes away from the family, not under the umbrella anymore, and is out in the world. Here, a mentor is the one who can actually guide a mentee towards the right direction. And believe me, every mentee will not be happy to learn from you that what is right and what is wrong. It is a mentor who has to create that space where the mentee understands that whatever is being taught or whatever is being suggested by the mentor, it is for the benefit, and it is going to take the mentee at the right correct at least dignified position where ethically or humanitarianly the person will not enter into a wrong place. So, and when we talk about AI, as it was being discussed about Chat GPT or something like that, also, because as I'm the research coordinator of the department, I'm seeing how students are utilizing Chat GPT and other AI, Perplexity, and so many other platforms to create their research thesis and all these things. But so what has happened is that students have stopped using their brains, that if somebody asks us to write something, we use whatever we have learned, we have observed, we are seeing around. Maybe we'll refer to 3 4 6 books, we'll go and sit into the library, and we will write something. But a student nowadays will just ask, give a prompt to the Chat GPT and get the text done. Yes, we have number of softwares where, like Turnitin, where we are checking the plagiarism. But then what about the mind, the use of the brains? That is lacking. Here, as a mentor, I try to educate my students, my mentees, that your brain is something which will never let you down. So, okay, you use ChatGPT as a suggestion giver, as an idea generator, but instead of just relying 100% on that, use your mind to decide to make the right decisions, accordingly create, whether it is professional or a personal setup. Personally also, students are referring to online platforms, asking questions of what should I wear today, what color would be looking good on me. All these things they're asking, and things are, it's leading to a, I'm a nutritionist. I have recently, there was a iodine a toxicity case highlighted where a person was continuously talking to Chat GPT to identify what the person should consume, and there was iodine toxicity. Another one was a throat this thing, cancer in the last stage was identified. So what is happening in the world? Why only students? All of us are going, we are, it is AI is hypnotizing us. So we have to see how a mentor can be the right place where a mentee can learn how to make decisions, can learn how to use the AI, can learn how to transform along with the transforming world and make the best use of the mind. That is what can be used.
Fine. Thank you, ma'am. So
Thank you.
this is what I want to listen that you rightly identified. Nowadays, students are using a lot of AI tools,
Right.
and as a teachers, we are telling them that yes, you can use this AI tools as a uh, thinking partner. So we provide some prompts, and these AI tools generate something. Only thing is, as a mentor, we cannot, if we are not able to train students how to use them efficiently, what are the things in terms of research integrity, they will not understand it. So I think at the first place, if we put some kind of training how to use this AI tool, and if we make it compulsory for all the students to use AI tool, but with specific purpose.
Right,
If we
right.
tell
So
them these are
I'll
the these
interrupt
are,
you here
yeah,
with this point. It is very well taken at Chandigarh University. I'm working with Chandigarh University.
okay,
We are trying to include. I have given some examples in my presentation. We are trying to include AI. We are trying to use it for a very effective teaching. We are trying to students to learn how to use AI, but not to depend on it entirely.
fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
That is very important, that the use of AI should be restricted and they should be told. Now it becomes very difficult. I would really raise a question as to when there are 45 or 50 students in a class and only one teacher comes to teach them, how far they can influence each and every child. So that is a real great question. How mentor mentee system can work. And again, I would point out that we are so curriculum oriented, so that no teacher is able to give. There are so many other responsibilities also on the teachers. How much time they can devote to the children? That's a real great question. Can I share my experience or my observation regarding the spiritual aspect? Is there a
Can
time?
we wait? We can have 2 or 3 questions from the participants.
Fine.
There, yeah. I invite all the participants to have two questions right now. If you have
Can
any
I say
observation,
something about the?
questions.
May I say something about the question raised by Dr. Manisha?
Okay.
Manisha
Yes.
ma'am has very rightly mentioned
Just
that,
take 1 minute. No?
yes, sure, that so many people, students are there in the class, and it's very difficult for a teacher to look into. One thing that we can do is that we can at least look at the slow and the fast learners. At least we can guide them, the slow learners, how to improve themselves, and fast learners, how to utilize their brains into a more effective platform where slow learners also can be handheld and a relationship can be created. This is how a teacher can help, a mentor can help and take help from the students. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, participants. Any, if you have any question, please ask. So I think either they understood everything, or in
Okay.
education usually we say
No,
that
not
they
really.
are overwhelmed by
Yeah.
the speakers,
I
the content. So
I remember when I
Hello.
was in school, there used to be a morning assembly, and there we used to recite certain prayers and certain shloks from Gita and all. So that was a 15 minutes assembly, and there the we used to gather. So the socializing, the respect for the religion, and mindfulness are this was created. But I don't know. I have two observations. In some of the schools, this practice is now conducted on mic. At one place, the mic, the prayer is played, and every child is within their classroom, and for 5 minutes, they are just listening to those prayers. That's all. But in some schools, they are really following, or they are really having some classes of yoga and the spiritual things. So both the things are observed in different schools at the same time. So it depends again on the school's orientation as to what they really want to give to the child. This is my observation.
One more observation from my side, I have seen in one of the school when students are not paying attention in the classroom. So instead of giving any kind of punishment, teacher tell the students to just go out from the classroom and see the surrounding. So in the surrounding, what is happening? There is one assembly hall, and where very good number of paintings are kept. It is very beautiful hall. So they tell the child to take a roam around in the school. So he usually go in the garden. He try to see the playground, and ultimately he came to this particular assembly hall where there are good painting. He devote half an hour to see all those paintings. Once they come out, teachers or those who are nearby, they just ask, now are you fine? He say, now I'm fine. Then you can go to the classroom. I think we need to change a lot in the education system. We need to understand the child. He is so creative. When we say something to the child, he is in own imagination trying to understand so many things. And once he start understanding many things, we say, now you stop and write the answer of this question. How this will happen? So I think this is where, if we have something in the education where we provide this openness to the child, so whenever they feel they are ready to learn, they will come sit in the classroom and learn many things. Whenever they feel that yes, they need some kind of space, we need to provide that space to the child. If we are able to do that, I feel we will go some closer to this transformative learning.
I
Yes.
think such system should be or will be provided in the new education policy, whichever schools are applying or implementing that. Probably,
Yeah.
we hope
There,
for the
Uh,
best.
we are going with
NEP
bagless
suggested
days
so many. Yeah.
as proposed by NEP, sir. Just to add on to this, earlier it was 10 bagless days, but now that has been curtailed. So number of bagless days is not defined now. So schools can opt as to what bagless days and what activities with the trips and excursion. And ma'am Manisha ma'am very rightly said about the experiential learning thing. With
Agreed, madam. I agreed with that, but the only thing is, are teachers ready for these kind of environment?
exactly, sir. That
Are
is
they
why. That
prepared?
is why.
If they are ready, then yes, this is very good idea. They will teach different things to the child.
Exactly, sir. And because I am working as a resource person with CBSE also, so we
Okay.
are on to this mission of conducting the CBPs for teachers. And what experiential learning we are talking about, all those things are being brought down to the school level. Teachers are also being oriented about how to take this to the classroom level. I'm sure, I'm 100% sure it's a pretty tedious task. And as you said
Yeah.
very rightly, it is not an overnight transformation that can happen, but trust me, with the CBPs coming up, with the CBSE and ISTM initiative, things are taking turn now and taking turn for a betterment of life for children.
Thank you, ma'am. We are also trying, for example, I'm associated with this National Mission for Monitoring, and we are also conducting free sessions for all the teachers. So those who wish, they can attend those sessions, and we provide, instead of just delivering the content, we provide tips. We discuss something what we are practicing, and we try to discuss our challenges. We take their input and we provide our expertise to them. So I think
Great,
if we
Rishi
are
sir.
able to,
I would
yeah.
definitely like to connect you after that because we do take up all kinds of initiatives and in-house workshops are also being conducted for the same. That would be really great with your insights.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other question? Any other thing?
Dr. Harsha, Dr. Harsha is
Harsha, ma'am.
raising hand. Harsha Merchant, please.
Yes, ma'am. You
Hello.
can unmute and say yes,
Hello.
ma'am. Yes, Harsha, ma'am.
Hello. Very nice, actually, very nice discussion. But when I am thinking we were doing Rabindranath Tagore's theory, you are adjoining, and Sri Aurobindo's theory, where they are open, students are open to do what you people are doing beyond the four walls. Very good. But and at the end, I think we are not talking about the joint family. If we are there, then we can respect elders, and they are also considered as our own family. And from them also, the children learn a lot of things like with stories and everything. That's what I think. In theory part, okay, but in reality, with society, it is there with the children, school children, and when they grow up, research based field trips, all these matters, going to the villages and serving there in real sense will make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Now we have observed and many researches have been carried out that now people are realizing the value of elders and joint family. So let us hope for the best.
So can we start vote of thanks?
Yeah.
I request Vegmita, Dr. Vegmita, for vote of thanks. And before vote of thanks, kindly introduce yourself also.
Thank you so much, Himrita ma'am. It's an honor for me, and I too was a part of this kind of a panel discussion months and years back. But definitely, every time when you hear such an enlightened panel, it is always worth listening to. And good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Vagnita Tyagi, and I'm working as a principal here in Meerut in Gagi Girls School. And I also happen to be a master trainer with CBSE and ISTM. So it was great. It was like a flow of emotions when I was hearing that Panch Kosha thing, when I was hearing Manisha ma'am talking about such wonderful values, Rishi sir adding to his inputs, and Dr. Prachi with wonderful AI insights. Definitely, thanks would just be a word, but when it comes to emotions, I think so. My gratitude goes to all the panelists. It was wonderful. It was enriching. It was mind-boggling and lot of food for thought. As you said, we were out of questions actually, because
Yeah.
we were all trying to absorb the wonderful insights that all the panelists had produced. And I'm sure this learning session is going to grow a long, long way and help us grow as not as just educators or mentors, but as persons in whole. And definitely, it was a flowery breath that was woven with such a beautiful tapestry. I mean, every topic had its own identity, and then it came so beautifully. And kudos to you, Rishi sir. It was such heartwarming to see you put everything together at the end when the panelists were finally trying to wind up what they had said. And all my thanks to Hemlata ma'am for such wonderfully organizing everything, bringing us all onto this platform. Ma'am, a tremendous hats off to your courage, to your enthusiasm. You are unmatchable, undomitable spirit. And I don't know whether I'll grow of your age. I would be just 1% in case I can be that near to you. You every day are an inspiration to us. Thank you so much for just, hugging us all together in this wonderful international conference group. Thank you so much, Hemlata ma'am. Thanks to the technical team. Thanks to all the wonderful people, the mentors, the educators who have spoken up today. It was truly enlightening. And thank you to the convener, Dr. Seema Tyagi. Thank you so much, everybody, for your one. And specifically, I would like to, no offenses to the speakers, but I think so good audiences make good speakers. So thanks to all the audience, all the participants who were here. For you stayed here till last, that shows that yes, in this mission of education, we all stand in solidarity. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Himlata ma'am.